Okay guys, today we're going to make Chillwave. So I've already finished the track, but we're going to take through exactly how to do it and what elements you're going to look for. Let's just run through this from top to bottom, layer by layer. Our first one is a loop. It's called continuous run layers. And the big elements of Chillwave are you're going to want it to be very nostalgic, so very 80s. Definitely a lot of reverb, sort of low passing it to get rid of all the bright highs that make things sound modern, more like cassette tape quality, and then some like bit crusher maybe, or slight distortion or warping of sounds, and then sort of like this big space in the music, very airy, not rushed, not aggressive, sort of laid back, that kind of thing. So let's start with this one. So pretty straightforward. Next one is a loop with, it's a contrail synth loop, and here it goes. Now since we're in GarageBand, these were already pre-made loops that were in the library here. If you just look over in your loop browser, there's even a whole genre called Chillwave right here. It makes it super easy. Now obviously if you're more advanced, you can make your own sounds using virtual synths or whatever you want to use, but this is a quick and easy way to learn the ropes. This one's called Landing in LA Synth. So far you can kind of hear the sounds that we're going for here. Pretty straightforward, all sort of have a similar like atmosphere to them. That's Delicate Line Synth. This is a deep melodic bass. Pretty funky, almost a little bit too funky for Chillwave, that's okay. That's Left Field Play Layers. This is Drifting Tide Layers, which is our second to last melody here. And then this is Lost Highway Layers 2. Pretty straightforward. Drums are usually very simple. They're just sort of moving the thing along, but not too aggressive, not too fast. Very like drum machine-ish from the 80s. So anything like an 808 or a Linn drum machine, that sort of thing. And our tempo is at 90 up here, and then we're in G minor just as a reference point. You don't want to go too fast either. Super simple hi-hat. This one's a more advanced, more complex beat. This one's a double snare beat. Pretty similar to the last one, but a little variation. All right, double clap beat. Double down topper, this is just a simple clap. And that's pretty much it. We've got a impact or crash, whatever you want to call it here. It's 4 different pressure release sounds. We'll go through it one at a time, but they're all pretty much the same. And then this first one here is really long tail on it. So all of this together has sort of a very retro sound. I'll just play you bits and pieces for a minute here. Okay, so there's a little bit of processing, but nothing that noteworthy, except for the one exception on the master track here. So I did a lot of low passing on layers in the track, but then it felt like there was too much, almost. There weren't quite enough highs. So I did some equalization on the master. You can see I brought up the high mid-range. And then I also brought up some of the treble. That sort of evened it out because I really low passed a lot of things. And it was almost too much. I've got another limiter on here, just a standard limiter that you use for mastering. But the real tricks on this one are that there's an echo and a reverb on the master track, which you really much should never do. But for Chillwave, it actually works really well. So there's only a slight echo. It's 19%, so it's not huge. It's just enough to be there, basically, and audible. And then the reverb, we're only at negative 16 dB, so it's not huge, but when you hear it on everything, it gives it that right feel to it. So here's without echo and a reverb on the master. Just doesn't have that secret sauce of making it like Chillwave, you know? So here's with the echo and the reverb. And you can hear it when I stop it too. It gives it that space, gives it that air, makes you feel like you're hearing an old cassette or something like that. Alright, so that's a really quick overview of how to do Chillwave in the simplest way possible in GarageBand even. If you like the video, give us a subscription and give us a thumbs up and share with your friends. We'll see you next time. Here's the whole song in full.